What's going on, everybody? Got another video here for you today. This one I'll try to make quick. I just wanted to show some of the stuff that I picked up right around the holidays or right after the holidays. Nothing really too crazy here at all, but thought I didn't really have much to make a video with since I'm still waiting on a bunch of stuff to come in, which keeps getting delayed, but that's not a big deal. As long as it's still here, still getting updates and still hearing everything on it, so it's not like it's been forgotten. Obviously, with people get busy and things take longer than expected, so I have a little fun video here for you. Let's see here. Well, this and the two bracelets I got from Knife Center, they had a sale over the holidays, 20% off everything plus a free gift on any size order. And then I think if you had an order over $75, you got 2 free gifts, which was this and I don't know, another knife or something else, and then there was one with like 3 gifts and something else. So anyways, I wanted to get some paracord bracelets. We'll get this out of the way for a minute. So I figured, order from Knife Center, get these 20% off and get a free little blade. So these are the CRKT Ken Onion designed paracord bracelets, and I got them in both the small and large size, mainly because I didn't know how they would fit. I mean, it gives you the dimensions. I think it's 8 inches and 9.5 inches, or something to that extent. Well, let's just measure it real quick. So, well, it's gonna be a little tough to measure, but a guesstimate here, close enough. And look, I got a ruler, getting all the instruments out now. Alright, so I guess you kind of want to just measure from there to there. Yeah, so this is about 9 inches. This is the large one, and this is in the green. Bring this in this way. Alright, so, and this is about 8.5 or 8 probably if you once you take out the plastic part, because you only want to measure one part of the plastic since the other one goes in there. They both fit my wrist. The black one is obviously a little bit tighter than the green one, but I kind of like that because it's a nice, it's a little bit classier fit. Why is there so much brightness here? Jeez, I feel like there's a big glare on this today. Oh well. But yeah, so with the black one, you can see there. And I don't know what the size of my wrists are. I probably should, based on how many watches I own. But this fits fine, and there is some give. I can get over the little wrist bone bump there, and I can move my wrist pretty well. But if I really flex it, I can feel it kind of tight on there. But that's the small size, just so you get an idea. I mean, as far as my hand size, I wear usually an extra large size glove, but I don't know how much that really actually compares to what your wrist size is supposed to be. So you can see that. And then here's the large size. And you can see a lot more room, a lot more give on this one. You can flex anyway. It's not going to give you any issues. I like the black one too because it holds a really nice, just perfect circle shape. This one, because of maybe just how large it is, or because of the saw that's inside here, it kind of has a little, you can see that hump to it right there. And I've tried maneuvering it. I've tried, kind of molding it and holding it for a section, but it usually always comes back where there's that hump in that one section. You could wear it like that, have the hump on the bottom, but obviously I kind of like it with the cord on top. And yeah, I mentioned the saw. So these are the paracord bracelets that have a tungsten saw inside, where it's a wire saw, where there's a little rubber circle nub here and rubber circle nub here, and then all the tungsten wire saw that then you would put your fingers through, go back and forth and cut down whatever you need to. Emergency thing. But I thought it was cool. I thought it was a good thing to have. I've kind of wanted to get a paracord bracelet now for a little while, so I figured I'd get 2, one in the black, one in the green, and they weren't that expensive and they were on sale, and I got a little free gift with it too. So I got these, and now I have the little backup here too. So cool. get those out of the way. This was the free gift. I really don't know what you would call this. It's just kind of a scalpel on a plastic handle base, but it actually, pretty fine. It's stainless steel, 60 stainless, close to mirror there, and it has a neat kind of action case. You can see in there that you have to flip it to open it. So that's the open position, and then you close it down. You can't get it out. Flip it up, comes right out. So I guess you could throw this in a pack if you ever needed to do any kind of really delicate cutting or slicing. I just throw this in my desk now, so I have a nice little paper cutter, paper opener. I don't have to actually pop open one of my nicer knives to cut open more junkier stuff, and just use this on. It was free, so cool. Thank you, Knife Center, for that. You can see that. And then lastly, this piece. This I had to get on Amazon. This is actually a discontinued model from CRKT. This is the Razel, designed by John Graham, based on his originally based on his fixed blade Razel, and then John started doing the folders and flippers version, and so CRKT did two versions of this. They did this one, which is the folding Razel, the larger size, and they did the, I want to call it, I think it's the snubby, where it's a much smaller, I think it's a 2-inch blade. It does have a little tiny flipper tab on it, not sure how well that works, and then it has a ram horn inlay. Yep, got it, okay. But mainly I picked this up just because I have really enjoyed seeing all the custom grams lately. A lot of the big knife guys that are on IG or on YouTube, on the knife community stuff, the grams have just been looking awesome. I would love to have a flipper gram that's maybe like the flip-flop, where it has, the bolster and the bottom half of the scale here, and then on the other side it's actually reversed, or the titanium or Damascus or Zerk piece that's on one side and then reversed on the other. So I like the grams overall aesthetics and looks, but really I love that blade shape too. And the cool thing that CRKT did here in doing the collab and the production version is this looks very, very close, similar, on par, probably exactly as far as specs go to his, whoa, almost sliced my finger over there, to his Razel blade design, which is supposed to be a very useful tool-like design. You have the belly here, and then you have the chisel point. It's not a chisel grind. You can see it's a V grind. You have both sides ground, but it's a chisel point. But that chisel point is also sharpened. Now, from what I can tell from just feel of it, the belly is sharper than this point, but this point is sharp, and it can cut probably better than some of the more general false edges that you would see on here. This is an edge. It's just not as sharp as this edge. But you can see here, there's John Graham's symbol, and then obviously it's the folding Razel. The patent number 4030 is the stock number, or their item number for it. There's also a serrated version of this. The scales on here are micarta, and it's a very, very nice feel to this handle. It's smooth. It's not perfect. I mean, this is a very, very inexpensive knife, but when you look at this, yeah, I mean, there's some parts that aren't finished the best, but for the price of this, it's a nice, thick feeling handle. This is a decently thick piece of micarta, and it's definitely been smoothed down. I would call this gray and black, but it kind of sometimes has a hint of green and black to it. But you can see the nice thickness to it. Here on the liners, the lock side is made a little bit thicker, which I like for the blade stability, and then just the thinner side on the other scale. And to give you an idea as far as specs on this, it says that the close length is 4.75, and it says that the blade length is 3.13. Now, I think the blade length is more like 3.5. I don't know if on CRKT they're just listing the cutting edge, because if you look here, let me measure this. It looks like that half is right here at the hilt. So it looks like 3.5 to me, really. I mean, here 3.13 is kind of like where the edge is on there. So that's what I get from it. And to give you a little comparison as far as size go, here's the ZT0801. You can see pretty comparable. This has a little larger butt end. It feels like a bigger knife in the hand, mainly because it's a little bit, I think it feels thicker, maybe because of the rounding on the micarta. I'll put it this way too so you can see. Yeah, when you put them butt to butt. This does look a little bit larger. Another knife, just so you can see size-wise. The Brass Reloader, another 3.5-inch blade. This, I think, is a little bit more comparable, mainly because of the width you have here and the thickness of the G10 compared with the thickness here. It kind of lines up. And even with this one, you have a thicker liner for the lock side than you do on the liner side, the front scale liner side. But you put that there, that there. Yeah, so good look at it. So try to cut this off before 13 minutes. Mainly picked up this knife, like I said, because I've been loving the custom grams I've been seeing. And it's almost impossible to get one, or you have to pay ridiculously high second market prices. John's not taking any orders, obviously, for them. So I decided to pick up this knife, and I paid, I believe, $21 on Amazon for it. $21. This is a stainless steel. It's the 8CR13 MOV steel, which I actually don't own. I haven't had a knife with that yet. I don't know how it really compares to maybe some of the other economy steels like the AUS 8s, the 440Cs, and then that one Sandvik one, I forget the number on that one. I would assume it's pretty comparable to those. This is a knife that's made in China, but I always think CRKT does a nice job on their satin finishes. My Nurktai 2 had a nice one, and this one does too. The blade center was definitely off when I got it. I've had to really tighten down the pivots to have it not be right close to the front scale here, which it was. And even when it was like that, when I was flicking it open and pushing it open a lot, it was shifting back and forth. Now when it was locked, there's not any blade play. It does feel pretty solid, but for whatever reason, it was switching back and forth as far as what side and was getting very close to scraping. So I really tightened down on this pivot, and it's kind of holding its place now. The other thing is you have the 2 pocket clip system, which is the tip up carry here. I'm sorry, tip down carry with this one. And then you have the John Graham designed Razel actual unique pocket clip that comes in a separate baggie that you can actually choose to put on or not for tip down carry in the back. Now this does hold, and it does have strength, but the way I hold the knife, that part digs right into my pinky. Now I can slide down, and it's actually pretty comfortable, but I don't have the control on the knife anymore. See where my thumb is? I like my thumb up here, and I like really to be tucked into the choil. So before we hit the 15-minute mark, main reason I got this, it's going out to get pimped. But Nick, why are you sending a $30 knife out to get pimped? You're going to pay way more money than what the knife is worth for whatever you're going to have done to it. Yes, I understand that. But once again, think of the money that I'm saving. I'd have to spend a ton more money to get a full gram custom, and maybe I will eventually down the road. But for the time being, I don't mind paying $30 for a knife, sending it out to a good knife pimper who has skills, who can take this base piece, it has the grind that I like, it has the blade shape I like, it has the shape of the handle I like, and then put on a really good looking scale on both sides, maybe do some extra sharpening to the blade, get this end just as sharp as this end, or do them both in some kind of nice, wicked edge or lion's tooth or that kind of finish on the blade, give it really sharp. And then also, I'm going to see if there's a way to make this a flipper. This thing is just a stupid lock system, which I actually hope when I send it out can be deleted because it just gets in the way. I mean, you push this here to lock it, the blade in place. I never understood that system. If you make a good knife, you shouldn't really need that. You know, the lock should hold when it's here. It shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to worry about these extra doodads to fix it or fail it. And the whole thing about putting it right here, it's right where your thumb goes. So if you're doing some hard work, you could shift it to the lock position. But then if you're pulling back, which this is a tool knife, you're going to take it out of that position. So I just don't get it. At least this one's the manual one. It doesn't do it automatically like some of the others. But, you know, this is just a good starting point piece here. I can send it out and have it really looking snazzy, and also have it that I can beat on this looking very nice and sleek and everything, and not feel too bad about it either. So that's what this is going to happen to this one. I want to get the vid up on this just so I could show you guys it before it goes out, and then you can see it when it comes back. So all the loot, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.